everybody. Welcome back. Oh my God, I am back on the microphone once again. Holy crap, it's been more than a week, and I'm already back on the microphone. Unbelievable stuff. Unfortunately, I am coming on the microphone to discuss something that is a little on the disappointing side and a little bit on the sadder side, as another all-time Philadelphia Eagles has announced his retirement in Fletcher Cox. Now, I know it's not news to anybody, and this is not necessarily a breaking news type of podcast, but I felt compelled to come on the microphone, give thanks to Fletcher Cox for his career, for all of the great things that he has done in Philadelphia, but mainly about the football stuff, because that's really more of what I know and, you know, what it means for us going forward. But before we get into all of that, let me introduce myself. I am Asif Badi. This is the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast, and we talk about everything regarding the Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia Eagles only. And with Fletcher Cox retiring, along with also Jason Kelsey, this has been a very, very roller coaster of a ride of an offseason. And you know, we mentioned Jason Kelsey before, and this is now an appreciation for Fletcher Cox. And I know everybody in Philadelphia loves Cox, right? Well, pause. Let that marinate a little bit. And now we're going to hit play. So, everyone in Philadelphia loves Fletcher Cox. What he's done for us as a Philadelphia Eagle. Let's just go down the list, okay? He's played in 188 games, which is number 3 in franchise history. He has 519 tackles, 88 tackles for loss, 173 quarterback hits, 70 sacks as a defensive tackle, which is insane. Number 5 in franchise history. He's got 3 touchdowns, 16 forced fumbles, 14 fumble recoveries. He was part of the 2012 All-Rookie team. 16 passes deflected, which is, a nice stat for a defensive tackle, especially in today's NFL. 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro, 1-time first-team All-Pro, respectively. Was part of the Super Bowl 52 championship run in 2017. And then also, if that doesn't showcase the greatness of Fletcher Cox, he is a member of the 2010 All-Decade team. Fletcher Cox has been one of the best defensive tackles in the National Football League, and one of the best I've seen since watching football, since I've started in 2007. That's when I became introduced to the NFL. And he has been a force up the middle with the likes of guys like Aaron Donald and Christian Jones and other defensive tackles that you can name in the past decade and a half. He's been one of those guys. He's been one of the best to ever do it, especially as a Philadelphia Eagle. And even just last year, you saw that Fletcher Cox still has juice, man. That guy can go. And quite frankly, outside of Jalen Carter on the defensive line and Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox was probably one of the best defensive players that we had this past season. So, the guy can still go if he really, really wanted to, but there's nothing left for this man to prove in the National Football League. He gave it one more go. We unfortunately ended in a disappointing stint in the 1-7 stretch. Played all right in the playoff game, and, sometimes when it's time to put him up, it's time to put him up. And Fletcher Cox felt that he's done everything he needed to in the National Football League. And he sent out a beautifully worded post about his thanks to the Philadelphia Eagle fans. We appreciate Fletcher Cox and everything that he's done for us. And we're going to miss him tremendously. His leadership, his gameplay, what he meant to Philadelphia, it doesn't need to be said, right? And he is part of the sole Super Bowl championship that I've seen in Philadelphia. So he definitely is going to have a special place in all of the hearts of Philadelphians. So Fletcher Cox, we will miss you. Thank you for the time that you have given us and the tremendous play that you've given us over the past decade or so. But now it becomes a new day, a new era in Philadelphia. Now that guys like Fletcher Cox is retiring, now that Jason Kelsey has retired, and now Brandon Graham, who just signed a 1-year deal, this is going to be his last season in Philadelphia. And we all know Lane Johnson is coming down the pike. This is a very, very important stretch of football now for Philadelphia. And quite frankly, now it's time to turn a new leaf and move forward. It is now time for guys like Jalen Carter to step up and take the mantle, who I have no doubt will step up and live up to the hype. It is now time for guys like Milton Williams, who is damn good, who is a damn good interior defensive lineman, to come up, get the playing time he richly deserves, and showcase his skill set, because that guy is a physical freak. And then lastly, it's time for Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis, it is now time for him to step up. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the exact reason why Howie Roseman decided to take the pick of Jordan Davis at, in the first round at the number 12 overall pick at the time, right? It's for this moment. And so far, Jordan Davis, I like him as a run defender. We all like him as a run defender. But that guy cannot stay on the field because he's too damn tired. Doesn't take care of his body. He's out of shape. Damn it, he looks like a shape like yours truly. And the man ran a sub 540. The guy's a physical freak of nature. He's got power. He's got speed. The guy can be a force if he just decided to take care of his body. And if there's one thing that Fletcher Cox did throughout his tenure in Philadelphia, he took care of himself to be a force for more than a decade plus. The man was damn near 35, 34 years old and was the best defensive lineman basically on the field when Jordan Davis was on with him. That shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be that Fletcher Cox has to take a majority of the downs because Jordan Davis can't hang. And I know this was supposed to be a Fletcher Cox appreciation and time to turn a new leaf, but you know what? This is now the moment we've been waiting for Jordan Davis to come and step in and take the mantle. Is he going to answer the call? Because now Philadelphia, all over the defensive side of the ball, is going to try to take a new approach to turn a new leaf. We are getting younger. We are getting more athletic. We're also getting more raw in the front seven. It's going to be reliant on coaching, and it's going to be reliant on the scheme to help these guys get into the positions they need to get into. But it's also going to be indicative upon these guys to step the hell up. None more so than Jordan Davis, because no one has questions about Jalen Carter. Nobody has questions about Milton Williams stepping up. Hell, nobody has questions, we don't even know about Nolan Smith just yet, but we feel confident in his ability. He just needs to get a little bit more durable. But people feel confident in his ability. Jordan Davis, for a first-round pick, look at it objectively, has not lived up to expectations in Philadelphia. This is the year where this could really shape what we view him as. And again, with Fletcher Cox retiring, not having that leadership on the interior defensive line room, it is now time for Jordan Davis to come in and step up. Because if he doesn't, we're going to have a very, very hard conversation about Jordan Davis. And that's a damn shame, because the guy's got all the physical gifts in the world, more physical gifts than even Fletcher Cox, who was an all-decade type of player, who was one of the best defensive tackles in franchise history, a legend in Philadelphia. Jordan Davis has more ability than that guy, physically. Can he get his head on straight, get in shape, take care of himself, and treat the job the way Fletcher Cox did for more than a decade, with the utmost professionalism and just that integrity that it takes to take care of yourself, to be ready for play when the moment calls upon, that you could step up when the moment is needed. Fletcher Cox did it. Now it's time for Jordan Davis and the rest of these guys to do the same. Hey, you got through a full episode of the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. Thank you for watching. If you want to support the channel, hit the like and subscribe button below. You can also check us out on Instagram at the Riding the Bench podcast with a K instead of C in the word podcast. And also check us out on audio platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on there. All of that is in the description below. Please come back next time for the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. Thanks for listening.